Okay, so here we are at sunny Long Melford again in Suffolk. Lovely, beautiful sunny day. We have Philip here to help us do another camera demonstration. And hopefully we've made this as easy as we can. Let's go through a little catalogue of parts that we've got. We've got our camera pole, which some of you may have already been or seen in other videos. We've got our bespoke camera brackets to fit on the majority of sight screens. Camera, access point, a little rucksack, little Puma rucksack, cable, and in here a solar generator, which really is the new bit on the whole kit. So we're going to start where Phil's just going to put the pole up the sight screen to start off with, or to put the clamps on the sight screen to start off with. So again, some of you would have seen this on previous videos. So clamp just slides over one of the slats and then clamps on. Phil will then mark on the sight screen as to where the second clamp will need to go. The second clamp does exactly the same, just slides on and then clamps on nice and firmly, no problem at all. Next bit will be to dress the pole. So we're going to dress the pole with the top hook here, which goes over the top of the sight screen, and then we'll have the access point and the camera to follow. So top hook really depends on how high or low you want that to be. In other words, the extension of the pole here, which you'll see later on, that goes over the top of the sight screen. If it's not a very windy day, you can put that up quite high. If it is a windy day, you need to keep it a little bit lower to stop the flex at the top of the pole, so the camera's flipping and flapping around. Next to go on is the access point. This is where it gets slightly different to previous videos that we've done. We're putting the access point up the pole now, and you'll need to strap that on. We're using reusable cable ties. Make sure we're nice and environmentally friendly. Need to put the access point on so that's pointing roughly in the direction of where your analyst or scorer will be located on the ground. Next to go on is the camera. And again, using one of our clamps that we've had made up especially for these. Just hook it round. Can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, but we haven't done this for a while. Get a little bit out of practice. Okay, and that's clamped on, and next will be to fix or attach the cables. Just to attach the cables onto the camera and to the access point. So there we go, completely one-man operation, as you can see. We've marked the end of the cables, so the red one will go to the access point itself, the PoE, and the black one will go to the Ethernet port on the IP camera. And while Phil's just doing that, we can sort of briefly talk about costs. These access points, they're called Ubiquity access points. They're about £50 each. The camera we get from Genie Products, £340. The pole, £200 for a company called Moonraker. And the clamps that we have to have made up specially, coming at around about £120, £130. Other bits, like you'll see in a bit, the solar panel charger, or the solar charger here, £160 that was from Amazon, and the charge in that will last you around about 12 to 14 hours, so good enough for a day's play. Okay, so we're all done. Phil's all done with that. He's now going to mount that into the clamps. As you can see, the camera goes up facing away from the sight screen to start off with. popping that into the lower clamp and into the middle clamp. Again, these clamps don't have to be done up very tightly. Most of the weight is taken on the top hook once the camera's up. Again, you'll see Phil just undoing the clamps on the pole. Just starting to slide it up. And then lock off. And the second one. She goes. And then some might get in her eyes a little bit here in the lens, but then the camera just twists round and the top hook nestles firmly on top of the sight screen and then clamped off, and then it'll just do up the second clamp. And then you see your cables just be hanging down off the camera for the time being. And then we'll take our rucksack, my little Puma bag here, and we'll just hang that on the hook. There we go, so that's well and truly out of the way. And then for the power, so as Phil opens up the box here, you'll see the little generator, solar power generator in here, and that's got 240 volt out and a 12 volt out in there. So all Phil's going to do now is connect that up for you. Just taking the access point power first of all. Just plugging that in, and then making sure that the red PoE goes to the PoE side of the access point and the Ethernet side in the Ethernet side. That's it. And then plugged into the 240 volt out on this solar generator. And then the camera power, which is 12 volt. There's a 12 volt out socket on the generator, which is just going to pop in there. And then switch both of them on. There we go. And again, some might spoil this a little bit, but the camera's now spun up already for us. And then Phil's just going to pop the generator into the bag. If it's a warm day, we might just leave that open a little bit, so any heat that's generated will just sort of come out the top. Just do it up a little bit more there, Phil. That's it, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And that's it, job done so far. All we'll do now is we'll go back to where the analyst or scorer will be sitting, and hopefully we'll get a picture there. So here we are now back at the scorer's or the analyst's end, setting up the IP camera that's now up the sight screen. You can see we've got a picture of the back of the sight screen, or back of the other sight screen. Obviously the sight screens aren't out on the pitch at the moment. Phil's got the internet browser open, which connects directly to the camera, and we can see us two there by the table while Phil steers the camera. And then if we swap to the PCS Pro view, you'll see that the picture is directly into PCS Pro, no problems at all. There's other videos posted online that show you how to set up the IP camera, etc. But I've no doubt we'll post some more up just so that you'll get a better idea. But that's how easy it can be.